So I've totally been shooting my shot and failing. So today I was driving and like I look to my right and I'm like, okay, that guy's kind of cute. And then he looks at me and then I look at him and then I look away and then he looks away and then I look back and he's looking. So I was like, okay, like there's something going on here. So I roll down my window and he rolls down his window and I'm like, hey. And he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm just like, are you single? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, cool. You should take my number down. And then he just stares at me and I just stare at him. And then I'm like, if you want to. And he's like, well,
I can already tell she's never doing this again.
yeah, maybe another time. I was like, yeah, next time I see you at this light for sure. And he's like, bet. And then we just drive off. I'm just like, that was so awkward. I hate shooting my shot. I'm never doing it again. Like ever.
Ah,
I'm ever like never.
you see, women have to realize that you're just going to have to learn the hard way, like men did. This isn't the first video we're reacting to or viewing where a woman has shot her shot and it hasn't gone it. Can you imagine that men deal with this type of rejection over and over and over again? The fact that she's willing to shoot her shot in the first place lets me know that she's realized that, like, okay, I'm not getting approached out here. I may have to try, but you don't know that it's always going to, that shot is always going to go in. Mind you, this is like, this, you're playing on easy mode here as a chick. So many men will give you the number just in hopes of like something maybe happening. Let's see what the few comments here say. Top comment here says he was white, huh? And she responded and says, check my latest video. Somebody else who says, bro was not single. Yeah, probably not. This commenter says exactly that part. The hesitation says it all. I would have been like, heck yeah, I'm single. What's your number, yo? Here's another person who says, I would think this was just a prank. Here's somebody else who says he was caught off guard. He probably thought he was being pranked. That's how rare it is. It is pretty rare for a woman to shoot her shot and just like come up to you for most men.
It wasn't a black man, but
Oh,
again, I got curved, so I don't know what he was. He could have been mixed. He definitely wasn't just like straight white. I don't know. Could have been Hispanic. I'm not really sure, to be honest. We're at a damn stoplight, okay? Cut me some slack. But anyways, story about the black man, okay? So I was supposed to go on a date with the black guy recently. Super my type, really attractive, good conversation, Pisces like me, so that was amazing. Okay, so we were supposed to meet at 4, but I was running a little late. I was gonna be like fashionably late, like 10 minutes. But
right.
then he sends me a text and he's like, okay, I'll be there at 4:20. I'm like, okay, that's perfect. So I tell him when I'm on my way, and then I get there at 4:21. And so he texts me at like, I think it was like maybe 4:10, saying that he was just now on his way. So I was like, okay, cool, he's gonna be a little bit later than 4:20, whatever. So I'm waiting and waiting, and then he says that he's almost here at like 4:39. So I'm like, okay, probably like 5 more minutes, right? Okay, cool. I'll wait. And mind you, we're gonna get sushi. And I don't know what it is, but I have to tell you all my sushi stories. Like anything that involves sushi is clear, like it's gonna weed him out. Like, I don't know what it is, but I really want some sushi, and that's so sad. Like, for the life of me, I can't get sushi. And I've been trying to get sushi. Like, I don't know. Anyways, whole different story
Sounds like she's about to get stood up, but I don't know.
for another day. But so I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and finally at like, let's see, 4:50, I'm like, are you okay? Because mind you, he had said that he was pulling up. So I figured like 5 minutes. How are you still pulling up like 20 minutes later? Like, that's crazy. I said, are you okay? And he didn't answer within like 5 minutes, which to me was like enough time. So I left. I was like, this is a long time. Like, we were supposed to originally meet at 4. So I was like, all right, whatever. I feel like I'm gonna leave. It's not making sense. So I left, and then he tells me that he's pulling up now, and that was at like 5:10, but I'd already left by this time, so I didn't respond.
Yeah.
So then he finally says he's here at like 5:30, and then he
Yeah.
starts calling me and calling me, and so I just texted him. I was like, hey, I left. And he keeps calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me. I ended up just blocking him because I'm just like, I don't know, I feel like that's hella disrespectful, and I feel like I'm super sweet. I'll be patient, I can be understanding, but like, communicate with me. Like, he ended up leaving me a voicemail saying that something happened with work or whatever, which I can respect that. Like, things happen, but like, don't tell me you're here or you're pulling up. You're not even here. Like, that's black people shit. Like, we be saying we're outside and we still in the bed. So it's just like, I get it, but like first date, first time meeting you, like I feel like that's setting the tone for how the relationship would be, you know? Or what do you think? Like, what I do wrong now? Tell me what I did, please.
That's hilarious. You know, the thing is, it started off with her being late. She was late 20 minutes, right? Or something like that. She said 20 minutes, I believe. Let me see. She says
Anyways,
she says she
story
was
about the black
fashionably
man,
late.
okay? So, like, fashionably late, like 10 minutes.
Oh, 10
But then he
minutes.
sends me a text and he's like, okay, I'll be there at 4:20.
Okay, so she's only late like 10 minutes. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, if I was in there waiting for over an hour, I'd have left too. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just how that goes. That's just how that goes. Top comment, says, yeah, nah, could have left earlier for real, for real. Yes. See, people here agree. Somebody else who says, also, a man will never be late if he take you seriously. Somebody else who says he might have been with another woman. Another person who says you keep waiting. Another person here added, next time, leave at 4:22. You're worth more than this. He's already lying, and it's the very beginning. This is just part of the dating market. You know, when people talk about the struggle out here and why the dating market is very humbling for a lot of people, this is exactly what they talk about. You deal with everything, right? You deal with the endless talking stages. You deal with the texting back and forth. You deal with the, I didn't know that you were in a relationship. And it's not just the women who are meeting guys who are in a relationship. No, men are out here dating as well. And they're dealing with women who they eventually figure out, like, oh, you're in a relationship. Now, you're dealing with people out here, you don't know what they want. And everybody knows that nobody owes anybody anything. And so before there's any type of mutual respect built up at all, you can expect to get treated any and which way. Stood up, ignored, ghosted. And I'm not saying this is what you should do. When I used to date, I would try my best to be considerate with the people that I'm meeting. But you end up realizing that that's not the way you will be treated in a lot of cases. And you just have to be open to that. Right. And then sometimes you have to be a bit ruthless because people are disrespectful, people are inconsiderate, people don't understand that this is the current dating market. I don't get how anybody who could be in a marriage, who could be in a relationship that doesn't have anything wrong with it, would sabotage that all to come to TikTok and actually live out what's being talked about in these videos. I don't get it. I don't get it. There's nothing out here but trauma for you. Nothing but trauma, nothing but headaches. But over and over, we see people are willing to leave healthy relationships and come into this dating market and go through this hell. Looks like a bad time if you ask me. And as far as women approaching men, I do think more women need to be approaching men. I do think that. I think there's nothing wrong with that. They didn't like it when Simone Biles did that with her husband, but look at her. She's married now, right? People did not like the narrative of that story, of her sliding into his DMs and him saying that he didn't know who she was. They hated that. But she's married now. She took initiative. Life doesn't just happen. This is not Disney, right? This isn't some type of a fairy tale. And approaching does get you somewhere eventually, even when you are a woman. I think especially if you are a woman. To sit on top of a hill of I'm waiting for the perfect guy and I'm not going to exert any effort whatsoever is a sad way to go out. To my currently engaged or soon to be married man, or maybe you're proposing soon, if you need a prenup but don't know where to start, fathershaverights.com. Our guide will show you how to get from point A to point B. Do it the right way. Get your prenuptial agreement. This guide helps you before you hire your attorney. Of course, guys, I'm curious to know what you think. Comment down below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.